This week's vocal troubleshooter, what's my range? What's my voice type?
So a question I get very frequently is, what's my range? The other question is, am I a soprano? Am I a tenor? Am I a baritone? Am I a contralto? The important thing about this is that these two things are not the same. Range is one component of your vocal classification, but it is not the only factor. Your range is something you're born with. It determines how high and how low you're able to sing. Now, the important thing most people don't realize, because I hear often, the other thing is that I hear from students is, I want to expand my range, or I think I've expanded my range, or how can I expand my range? The thing, again, is you're born with it. So it's predetermined when you're born, how high and how low you're able to sing. What people are referring to usually when they talk about expanding their range is accessing the high end and the low end of their voice. Most people can reach the middle, but their approach to reaching the top of their range and the bottom of their range is interfering with their ability to sing those notes with quality. The important thing to know is if you can sing and make any kind of a sound, regardless of the quality, if you can hit that note high or low, it means it's in your range, and it's something that you can develop if you learn how to approach it properly. So the key to expanding, quote, your range, it really comes down to learning how to approach these aspects, these parts of your range, the high end, the low end of your range, which is typically where people have difficulty. And that's something you get through the correct technique, through proper training. The other question regarding classification, voice classification, again, applies to classical music. If you are singing popular music, we can simply change the key to suit what we want to sing. But if you must know your vocal classification, some people are obsessed with that label and want to know what their vocal classification is. All right, so there are 6 main voice types, starting from high to low. There is soprano. Below that, you've got your mezzo-soprano. Below that is contralto, often referred to also as alto. Those are the 3 female voice types, typically. And then below that are the male voice types, typically beginning with tenor, then baritone, and then bass. Now, there are several subdivisions of these types as well, which further determine the specific type of voice classification that you have. There are many factors that go into that. One is range, but also the weight of your voice, how heavy or dark your voice is as opposed to how light or bright it might be. The timbre, also referred to as the texture of your voice. In addition to that, where the transition areas in your voice are, that impacts also your vocal classification or your voice type. The single most important factor that impacts your vocal classification is something called tessitura. Now, this means that basically people of completely different voice classifications may have the exact same vocal range. They can hit the same high notes and the same low notes and everything in between. But the tessitura is the thing that's going to determine whether they are a soprano or a contralto. The thing that would determine that is where the bulk of the melody lies. A soprano will be very happy singing at the high end of her range for the bulk of the piece of music, and occasionally going down for some low notes. But if she had to sing an entire piece in the low end of her range, it would be very tiring for her. A contralto, on the other hand, would be very happy singing in the lower end of her range for the bulk of the song and going up occasionally for the high note here and there. If she had to sing on the high end of her range for the entire piece, she would become very tired. So this is one of the things that really clearly defines where your vocal classification is and where that falls. If you really need to know what your vocal classification is, then I would suggest that you see a professional voice teacher that specializes in classical singing, someone who really is going to be focused on all of these aspects to really analyze your voice completely and give you a really thorough look over and figure out exactly what your classification is, because it's not simply your range. If, however, you're singing popular music, then you're really focusing on your approach to your range, and then I would seek out someone who specializes in popular music to help you really determine and focus on how to approach your high and low end of your range. All right. If you know someone that you think this information would be helpful for and would be interested, please share it with them. Like this video. Also, please comment. I'm eager to hear what you have to say about it. If you have questions regarding this or any other video, please feel free to contact me. You can reach me through my website at bangonrecords.com. That's Dominique at bangonrecords.com. Till next time.